A common struggle with parents is what they want their children to be happy, and do they make them take piano lessons, or do sports, or do they live in a city, a big city, or a small town? The purpose is to explain that raising your children in a city is the way that they should be raised. First, by showing the academic benefits, and second, by showing the opportunities, and finally, by showing the disadvantages of a small town. When I think of some of the academic benefits that you can gain by having your children in a large city, I think of the many courses and the different advanced classes that there are. I see this as a huge advantage from an academic standpoint because if my children are good at something and excelling in their particular field of interest, I would like them to pursue it more and decide if that's really what they want to do when they get into college. It somewhat serves as a freshman year of college. Also, many schools offer programs through their college that is in their city and allowing some of the upperclassmen to take college courses before they go into college and can focus on their major sooner. Also, on the opposite end of the spectrum, larger schools tend to have better programs for those who aren't doing so well in school. They have good programs for people who are just trying to get through high school. Another benefit of living in a city is that isn't school related is the ability for your children to be involved in many different things. Some children who want to take music lessons typically wouldn't be able to do that in a small town. Sure, they can probably take piano, but what if the children wants to learn the violin or take formal voice lessons? That probably isn't going to be an option unless there happens to be someone in your town that has the time to do that. With a large city, you will not only have one person, but probably multiple people who can offer bits of advice and even allow the student to take formal lessons. Another thing is club sports. Sure, small towns have their sports that they do through school, but in large cities, you have different clubs that get together and play. I know of a child who is excelling right now in tennis, and he's only in the 5th grade. If you were in a small town, there's a very small chance that you would even have tennis courts, let alone someone to teach you how to play. When you live in a big city, you can also let your children take your children to things that people from a small town would have to plan for. You can't just take an afternoon and go see a professional or at least semi-professional game. Or you can at least take them to a college or orchestra or opera or ballet. I understand that people from a small town are given this opportunity as well, but it's not something that they can do on a regular basis like people from the large city could if they choose. As you can see, there are many advantages to living in a large city. Even to persuade you more that the big city is where the children should be raised, I'll present some of the disadvantages from a small town. With some of these statements I have previously made, you can see that living in a small town doesn't allow people to have things right at their fingertips. Also, with living in a small town, you don't have the local shopping mall or the Walmart nearby in case of a late night emergency. Another one of the disadvantages of being in a small town is that you don't really become your person, but rather you're so-and-so's daughter or son, or you're so-and-so's brother or sister. You become what and who your family is.